Hello and welcome back with me, fLukedMC, here on the LiberCraft server. At the end of the last episode we built the villager breeder that you can see behind me, and it has been working quite well. In here, in this little room where they are stored, you can just kind of slightly see there they're overlapping. That's because there's probably a good 4 or 5 villagers all just stood in that one spot, and this one trying to get in. This has been running constantly for a few days now, but I haven't actually managed to do anything with it apart from put the villagers in. Now, at the end of the last episode I said we'd be moving on to this island here, but there has been a change of plans. You see, there has been an announcement that on Saturday the 15th, which as of recording this is about 3 days from now, we are all fighting the Ender Dragon. So I think I'm as prepared as I can be for that, but what that means is that we might have to just temporarily put on hold the plans for this area, but we are going to talk about this island today. Now, as well as putting the villagers in here, a few more things have happened. Firstly, all of those books I bought has now made some absolute mega armor. Every single enchantment on everything. And you can see that also all of the tools have all been named. So all of the gear is now as good as it could possibly get without being netherite. However, I was originally going to go for netherite today, but because we are fighting the Ender Dragon soon and I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to fall into the void, I'd rather not lose all of my netherite armor to the void. Another thing that's happened is pathways. There are pathways going across the island, and there's signs just laying out the different areas so that I get an idea of where everything's going to go. In a little bit I'll talk about why these pathways are here and what this is going to be. Up here you can see a few chests, and that's because I thought, well, I'm running out of diamonds. I spent all of my diamonds on these enchanted books. I need to set up some shops. So I went ahead and I decided to open a log shop, which I call the Lumberyard. We are now selling oak logs on the server. In fact, the price has been reduced. It used to be 1 diamond a log, but other people started undercutting me, so I needed to reduce the price down. Now, there's not a lot of stock in these chests, and that's because this was a temporary shop, and we now have a proper shop in the Nether. We are back at Nether Spawn, which we saw in the last episode, and it still looks really nice. I love how everything's color coded, and this is my tunnel here. I have in fact also dug out a tunnel all the way to my island. There used to be signs here, but down here is a communal shopping area. There we go. There's a lot more shops there were than when I actually built mine. The thing is that I didn't have time to actually get the recording set up because it was a very mad rush. It was simply like the announcement was put out that there's now we're able to do shops and there's areas put aside for them. I was maybe 5 minutes, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 plots were claimed before I arrived, and this is my shop. This is Michelle. Michelle is the secretary who works in, there will used to be a sign here as well, this is the Lumberyard Nether Division. Michelle is my secretary. She is an unpaid intern, but she's also part of a union, so I've been advising people not to hit her because her family, who like to come to these shops often, will fight back. As part of her union benefits, she gets a sword. I've already collected the diamonds, but you can see we also have all of these chests up here as well, and they all have their own stock, in addition to also having oak leaves and saplings. In this ender chest, 21 that's how much I've made from the shop, 21 diamonds. I think I maybe had 1 or 2 when I started, left over from my spending. After I went and I did more spending off camera. I really spent everything. So to get 21 diamonds just from this shop is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But we do need to get some stock up. On these, it's usually about a row, as you can see, crimson logs and warp logs, we don't have anything. And they have been out of stock since I started, and that's because I found that crimson logs and warp logs, the nether trees, are very difficult to get a hold of. They're very difficult to farm quickly, even with the plugins we have on the server. I have had a look around these shops, and there is some interesting things going on. Some of them have started to be a bit more specialised. Most of them are very general. We still do have the library, I think. I need to go and check out because I've been hearing might be some issues going on over there. But most of the shops are very general at the moment. There's not so much in the way of specialisation, but at the same time, the deals that people are putting up are very good. There is one other thing I have spotted in this little shopping district, which is not a proper shopping district. There will be a proper shopping area at some point, but this is just temporary. It's just kind of like a communal area because everyone was starting shops, everyone was building shops. But yes, this is what I found just off screen, just before I started. I found a little parkour course, which I've given a couple of tries, but so far I've not managed to complete it. So let's give it a go. These first few steps are quite easy. It's this jump here, getting to that ladder, and then I bash my head. Thing is, it's got this sign about how them doing it, but I don't actually know who built it. I would love to know who actually built this. I can't stay around and do this all day. I will come back. I want to get that. I think that's just the finish there. But yes, this is our shopping area with loads of shops set up selling a variety of resources. This is going to be a good place to come to. And I'm going to be coming here quite frequently because I need to collect my profits from this shop. As well as the shop, there was also one other thing I was able to complete between episodes. So over there you can see where my island is. You can see the sun going down as well. But just over here is a little structure. I need an actual building outside, but this is a skeleton XP farm that I was able to get set up. So this is the way down, and here we go. It's only a small little room, but basically we have a skeleton spawner there. They drop down into the water. They flow down water streams, which goes under the floor, up a pipe behind here, just over the top, and then they drop down into here where we can then kill them. And because every single tool and piece of armor I've got has mending on, killing them will mend it. This has been extremely useful in setting up the log shop because I have had to repair this axe quite a few times. The original plan for this episode was to take the villagers from this villager breeder and pull them across a bridge into this area, but my plans have changed. You see, now that we do have that shop set up in the nether and we've got those chests there, but I want a proper shop on this island. I want to build the lumber yard. I've been calling it the lumber yard, and that's what it's going to be. I've even picked out a spot just over here. This is where the lumber yard's going to go, and we're going to be building that a little bit later on today, but we're going to collect some resources before that. But I think it's also time to mention what the plans are for this island as a whole. You see, I have laid out these pathways, and they operate quite like roads, and they meet at this central point. This is the town centre. Off of these roads there will be a series of shops. These will be the shops where the villagers stay. I'm not going to create a central area where the villagers are all in one place. I want each villager, each profession to have its own shop. I've already marked out an area for the tavern here. Taverns need to go on a corner, but the rest will just go anywhere in this area, and we have a lot of space to play with. That will come later because there's still more work that needs to be done getting the zombie conversion chamber attached to the villager breeder, and we need the shop set up over here, but we won't be able to do the shops just yet because I want to focus on the lumber yard. And so I think we need to get into a resource mining montage. Nope, wait, interrupt the montage. We won't be able to do it, and that's because during the resource gathering some things have happened. Quite notably, the server has got a plugin which allows everyone to access a proximity chat. This is done through Discord, so there won't be anything in game. We're not using the fabric mod, it's a different thing. Basically we can all join a lobby, and Discord, it's great how it works. Discord will manually move us between lobbies depending on who's nearby. The clip you've just seen where I said let's collect some resources, do a montage, that was 2 days ago, because things have happened since then. You can see a little bit over there and over there. Later on I will talk about what happened in this area when people came to visit with the proximity mod. But the lumberyard, we're getting ready to build it. I know it is raining, bit of a grisly day out, but we're going to get some building done anyway. And these are the 2 chests I need full of resources. They were neatly organised until I had to move them. Thought I'd show a little bit of Blackmatica because some viewers that are on the server with me have been curious about it. So as you can see, it already looks as if a built structure has been placed in front of me. This is a 3D blueprint which allows me to build, and this is completely invisible. I can completely walk through this. None of this is here at the moment. It does also show me where the build is going to be, so I can see that it overhangs in this corner here and that corner there. So we're going to need to do some light terraforming after the build is complete, just to kind of get it smooth into the land. So this is what I'm usually looking at when you see the time lapses. I'm looking at this build, knowing exactly where to put things. If it's red, that means it's bad. If it's orange, it means it's not quite right. And when there's no colour at all, it means it's good. So now that we've got all the resources and we have the schematic and the blueprint in front of me, I think it's time to get into a time lapse and let's get assembling. And the lumber yard is done. I will quickly just take you on through a tour. We have the forklift truck here, which is still missing a few details, like there's a headlight on the front and a couple of lights on the back that go in item frames, but I can do them a little bit later on. We have this first stack of logs here. We have some shipping containers, and you can't really see it from this angle, but the blue I used for the concrete is actually the complete wrong colour, but I think that hides it quite well. I will be able to go and change it later just off screen. This is the main shop area. I just need to move the shops into these gaps here, and this will be the main area where all the chests go. There's another stack of logs at the back, and then here is a sort of like production facility. So we've got another stack of logs. I imagine them coming down this track into these blades where they can be chopped up, and these are like wooden pallets that can be used to store things. So naturally the wood would come through, get chopped up, get stored on these pallets, forklift, move the pallets into the shipping containers. I've used this dripstone to kind of lay out where the forklift tracks are, so it can kind of go round there and also go over there, and I think it's a really nice detail. All in all, this build has come together very well, and I'm really happy with it. It is the largest single build I've done so far in terms of block count. There is still a little bit left to do. We still need to add the terraforming to the side, but I will do that off screen, as well as changing the colour of those shipping containers. But this is already in a pretty good position. I might also make another one of those signs to put over on the edge, because when people come through, they'll come through that nether portal there. So we want them to come through that nether portal and see immediately that this is the lumber yard. Now, I mentioned earlier that some things did happen over here over the past couple of days. The first thing that happened was a couple of members just popped over just to have a look around, and we ended up having a couple of nights spent with this little contraption here. So I thought it might be good to see some clips from that night and see how it turned out. So just to give an update on what's happening, we farmed each other's heads, Ignited has built this contraption, and we are waiting for it to be nighttime so that we can get creepers into there so that the skeletons can kill them, so we can get loads of music discs. This is completely not what I was expecting. We're getting music discs and we don't have a jukebox. Right, the sun is going down, so it's time to lure some creepers in. No, he figured it out. This is so funny. Just watching three people go around in a circle trying to get a music disc. This is nice. This is what you don't get in single player worlds. You don't get a bunch of people sat in a circle listening to music. This is also completely not what I expected to happen today. I expected to come on, collect some resources and build a lumberyard. One last thing to note is earlier on I was speaking to someone about this parrot that has been sat just outside of this nether portal. It's not my parrot. It's a bit of a mystery whose this parrot is. It's been here and no one's claimed it. We decided to move it to its little post here, which I also gave it a name. This is Oliver. Because it is a famous orphan. I don't know who its parents are, so I can't tame it, but it's mine and it's sitting on this post. I've given it a home, which is more than its owner did. The thing is, I found more than just the one parrot. So here I am in the storage system. I mean, I've been hearing parrots for ages down here, but I always thought it was just that one up there, until I broke through this wall and found another one. There's another parrot. Just in the open. And again, this isn't mine. I can't tame this. I don't know who this is. I'm guessing it's the same person as who did the green one. It's entirely possible that we have been the victim of a prank, because we are on the prank board. The only evidence I had was there was a sign here from LIW complimenting the base, but I don't know if that sign is related to those parrots. There is so much more that has actually happened in these past couple of days before building the lumberyard that I unfortunately wasn't able to put in. Earlier on today, about half a dozen of us ended up in the shopping district with the proximity mod. We all know that proximity mod is going to be so much fun going forwards. It's gonna be amazing just to be able to talk to people when you get close to them. As of recording this, it is 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Tomorrow, on Saturday, I will be filming the Ender Dragon fight. So in the next episode, we go for the Ender Dragon. We go to the end. The end, not of the series, but the end happens. The end begins. And then we have the dragon. From there, we will have Elytra, shulker boxes. Everything opens up. So much will happen once we've defeated the Ender Dragon, and I'm really looking forward to it. As I am also looking forward to building up this area. This is the first time I've seen the lumberyard from this distance. This is the view people are going to get from here, and that looks really good. And I think once some other builds get there as well, filling out that land, this is going to look absolutely fantastic. So you know what to do. Hit that like button below, comment, and make sure you subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything this channel has to offer and as this island progresses. If you want something to comment below, I need a name for the island. The island hasn't got a name yet. It's still FLukedMC's island. It needs a name. Other people have bases, they have names. I don't have a name for this island. So give me suggestions below for what this island should be called, and I will see you in the next video.